Hi, this is a Let's Play of Zelda Classic. My name is Obake-san's Ghost, and I'm playing a custom quest I made, Link's Decision 2, Chronos, The Tears of Fate. Before I start, let me explain. Zelda Classic is a free open source program for the PC that started as an exact remake of Zelda 1 with a quest editor and a place to share homemade quests. They've added a whole bunch of stuff. This quest is from about 2008 version of the game. It has heart container pieces, magic containers, the NES items, a dozen extra items, and SNES Zelda 3 graphics. The current version of Zelda Classic has a lot more than that, so there's a lot of quests that you can play. Whatever the case, this quest is available for download with the hundreds of others at purezc.net. Unlike most of the quests, this one has a big walkthrough online, so it should be a bit easier to follow than most. But anyways, that's Zelda Classic and this custom quest. So let's get started. Ganon has arisen in the land west of Caladia. Ganon has arisen in the land of Caladia, west of Hyrule. Once again, Link is sent to fix the issue with nothing more than a toy shield, and finds a sword. Link always finds better stuff along the way, so there's no need to waste supplies. Link is just told about 6 things to collect and a bunker to retake. The entrance's magic seal can only be broken by collecting all 6 pieces. Only then can Link go after Ganon. So we start out in this nothing place. The only way you could go from here is up. Please find the 6 pieces before the king learns of the incursion. So we got our sword. Mini-map has changed, and there's the music. But let's check out the help cave here first. I will help you around this unfamiliar land if you are lost. So this is going to tell us how to get to the next level. Northwest, you'll find the first dungeon. You can check out the desert to the east to find a shop once you get some money. So you come back here anytime, and this will tell you which dungeon to go to next and how to get there. And the music there was Super Bonk, Juicy Juice. Yeah, I don't remember the levels well enough. Here is a warp that we're gonna have to get back to. I don't have the blue candle yet. We'll forego the desert since I have no money whatsoever. The music here is definitely familiar. Zelda 1, this is an orchestral version of the song. Yep, we got to the river. Can't get there. The river is, it has a button on the other side, so we have to get to the other side to open the bridge. And here is the first dungeon. So, let's see, level 1 in the present. The way that these dungeons work is there's actually 3 parts to each level. 2 sub-dungeons followed by a full dungeon. And the sub-dungeons are a little bit smaller, a little bit easier, and generally less interesting. The other differences between them, well, hold on. Block puzzles are a big part of this game, so I'll just point out that there's that. And here there is a difference in the 2 blocks. The one on the right has a big flat piece on the top. That indicates that there is a push block there, and every single one in the quest is identified that way. Everything in a dungeon and cave. And so the one item we can get in the sub-dungeon is a heart container piece. That's the only thing there is to find in the sub-dungeon whatsoever. The sub-dungeon will also have a boss at the end who will give you another heart container piece, and then you'll get the dungeon item at the end. This room was just to showcase the push block to make it really obvious that it's different, in case somebody missed it before. And now the passageway takes us to another part of the map. We're way up at the top of the map. I'm hoping for some money from these guys because shop is gonna be coming soon, and the items are useful. So I want to get to that shop as soon as I can. One more passageway. And this room is familiar. You can hear the boss roar for being next to the boss. And it's just a simple Aquamentus. Pretty much tradition for Zelda games' first level. Really easy beat if you can throw your sword at full health. Otherwise, it's only very easy. Step into the water if you have wounds that need healing. So here's the boss item, and now we can go to the water to refill our health completely, and then exit the dungeon. Now that we have the candle, we can go to the warp, but I'd definitely like to get some more money along the way back. Not gonna mess with those guys, but a obvious burn spot, that's a good sign. What made you think you could just burn your way in? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I knew I shouldn't have planted an orange shrub on the green plains. Well, I've been trying to get into town, but the bridge to the northwest is out. If you think you could get it repaired, this is yours. Well, I'm gonna take this regardless of whether that bridge gets repaired. Next we have the spot to burn. But before we go through that, I'm gonna take a look at the Help Cave, because I said that was gonna be different this time. Now that we've beaten the first dungeon, it says, I'm sure you noticed the first warp. Follow it to the past, the first dungeon will be a bit different. Yeah, I'd hope it's a bit different, but we'll see. It's not that different, really. Take a look at the mini-map while we're here. Notice that the desert is just to the right, the plains are to our left, and we will go into the warp. This is how they all look. Go to the past, go left, go to the future, to the right. You can keep looping around over and over again. The music here is from Chrono Trigger. This is Minoria Cathedral. Now we're in the past. You can see that the mini-map is different than before. The desert is now quite a ways to our right. We're out in the middle of the plains this time. The warp is in the exact same spot, so that'll be the case for the warp in all three time periods. Even though this place is different, this is still the same starting area. There are still a lot of features. The major features are the same. So the first dungeon is going to be in the same location also. For now, let's look around at what else we can get. Those enemies are a bit advanced for early in the game. They're just there so that you can refill your magic like I was able to do. Shop. That is definitely good, and of course this isn't a shop I can afford anything at. I definitely want the magic shield. The bracelet is a bit more than I can afford, and parry's not particularly useful at the moment. There we've got a skull across the river. We'll have to come back to that because we still can't get across the river yet. And here we are at the dungeon in the past. We'll take a look at the bridge to the left this time. It is blocked by something we need the power bracelet for, but obviously I was unable to afford that. Here's a 3-stair warp. Yeah, like the original Zelda game, there are 3-stair warps. This is the one that needs the bracelet, so I can't use it. And now let's take a look inside the dungeon itself. This is the first dungeon in the past. It has mostly the same shape, but some rooms are different. And of course the order of rooms and the layout inside each room is different. So it is a completely different dungeon, but a familiar map. We'll have to go get this. Yep, key is right here. Those gels can be annoying, but fortunately they're easy to dispatch from a distance. Key here, that is generally a good sign. I mean, directions without keys often lead to dead ends or locked doors, so it's usually a good way to follow if you find one. We've got a passageway here. And we're up at the top of the dungeon. So, wall masters can be very annoying, but without other distractions around, they're easy to kill and they do drop a lot of items. Block puzzles, we're going to see a lot of those throughout this quest. We got our compass. So the boss is southwest from us. And aside from the key, I see that there is a pushable block. Since this is a sub-dungeon, this is the only item we're going to find in the dungeon, then all that's left is to go find the boss. The sub-dungeon boss will drop a heart container piece, and we will get that dungeon item at the end of the level that will let us get to the next area. The block puzzles, yeah, there are going to be a lot of them, and all of them work in both directions. So you can always get your way back and forth across the block puzzles. Almost to the new rooms. So here is another block puzzle. The map is up there in an odd spot just so that way you have to be on this tile to get the map, instead of trying to push a block on top of the map and then picking it up from below. Now we are at the dungeon boss room just next to us. I won't be able to dispatch this thing from a distance, but that's okay. Aquamentus are still easy to kill. And now that we've completed 2 sub-dungeons, we've gotten 4 heart container pieces. And take these bombs. So I am going to refill my health and go back to the dungeon start. We've got the bombs, so we can get to the next area, whatever that requires. The music from that last dungeon was Mega Man 7 Burst Man. And the music here is Gradius 3 Cosmo Plant. All of the areas of the overworld and each of the dungeons and sub-dungeons have their own music. So there's actually a lot to go through in the entire game. So let's take a look at the future. We'll skip the help cave. We don't need to see every single piece of help that it gives. But this is the future. The mini-map looks considerably different than the others. The desert stretches all the way over to the river now. And so this screen right here is the only one that counts as the plains, and this is the only one that has the Zelda 1 title song slow music. Which, whatever. The rest of the future area here counts as the desert, and that has Gerudo Valley from Ocarina of Time. This is our bomb spot, so now we can get through to the other areas. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And that right there is a target. We're gonna need the bow and arrows to hit that. Yeah, I don't know if anybody noticed this red rupee over here. But there's the button, so now this path is open all the time. And we can proceed out into the desert. Or at least to this bombable spot. I haven't finished with this setup yet, but are you here to buy? I've got enough money for that wood boomerang. I'm definitely gonna go for it. So now we can head across the desert to the next area. Obviously the dungeon's gonna be in the exact same location again. Fairy, that brought my health back up. We've got a little spot right here. The mountain west of here is really dangerous, so I'm hiding out here. Yeah. And just 10 rupees. He's just overflowing with money and confidence. The river. We can keep going north along the river, but it's still gonna be solid. We've got to find our way across. There is a bomb spot here. And this is one of the fairy spots. There's 8 of them throughout the overworld. Each of them have exactly the same thing, but the fairies are different. So the next one will look a little bit differently than this one does. Here we've got a path across, but we have to hit that crystal, and the wooden boomerang is not doesn't go far enough for us to hit it, so we'll have to come back later. But here is the first dungeon in the future. This is the main dungeon now. So this one has 2 items that we will have to find throughout the dungeon. One of them is the dungeon item, and the other is a magic container. So all 6 main dungeons have a magic container, plus the one you start. There is an 8th one hidden in the overworld, and that is all your magic. When you get to the boss of the main dungeon, the boss drops a full heart container, and you get a tear when you kill him. In the next room, of course. And the only other difference is that you need a boss key to, get to the boss room. So we've got a couple of things that we need to look for. The music here is the hollow tree from Battletoads in Battle Maniacs. And we're back up at the top of the map. The main dungeon is kind of the culmination of all of the pieces to get the full size. The sub-dungeons are the same exact layout, except with rooms removed. And of course, as you saw, the rooms within and the door layout is completely different. But it's at least a familiar shape. That's an easy block puzzle, but there are versions of it that get harder in the later dungeons. And here we get the whistle, or ocarina, or whatever you want to call it with that shape. Yeah, the other versions of this just have certain blocks filled in, that way it's harder to get across. Of course, I gotta kill these guys again. The magic shield would definitely be useful right now. Well, a heart. It's something. But there's our boss key. I'm not going to bother killing those guys. And back the way we came. Well, at least we're getting plenty of money out of these guys. I would like to get back up to full health. I'm not even going to bother with them. I got the item out of the room. I already killed these guys. There was nothing in here. Scaffolds are pretty easy. Come on, health. No. Wall Masters. They're good for drops. But no health again. Block puzzle. The dongle is not the boss, but he is blocking something. No health. So we've got our magic containers down here. And now the boss, which is not going to be easy. 2 Aqua Mantises. Oh, there we go. Full heart container. And now the tier. The desert calls you to find the fortress. So, that's our tier. And now I'm just going to go back to the help cave in the present. And that is where we'll finish for today. There is still stuff to buy. And past the past and then the present. So we'll end right here and pick up with what this guy has to say next time. Thanks for watching.